This is a production of the Oyo State Ministry of Information and Civic Orientation.
The combination of the first premier of the defunct Western region, late Chief Jeremiah Obafemi Awolowo, and his successor, Chief Samuel Akintola, has been described as the best political combination of their era. This was disclosed by the Oyo State Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Prince Dr. Oyelade, while presenting a paper titled SLA Akintola, a classic case of media befuddlement, on the occasion of the 2024 SL Akintola Memorial Lecture and Award presentation, which was organized by the Samuel Akintola Memorial Foundation. In his speech at the event held at the House of Chiefs Secretariat Agodi Ibadan, the Information Commissioner frowned at the deliberate strategy of a section of the media and their collaborators to subsume the achievements of the late Chief Samuel Akintola, popularly called SLA, and replacing them with the Western region crisis and his disagreement with his boss. SL Akintola, according to Oyelade, recorded many outstanding achievements for the region as a federal parliamentarian, minister and premier between December 1960 and January 1966 when he died. Describing Akintola and Awolowo as political Siamese twins whose combination was made in heaven, Prince Dr. Oyelade said not once did Akintola query the leadership of his boss Awolowo, he was ready to deploy his deep understanding of the Hausa language and northern affiliation to foster the ambition of his boss, but as it turned out, when he had his back to the wall, he deployed the same asset to protect himself.
A politician was once quoted as saying that if you don't want to be convinced or swayed to the other side, do not allow SLA Akintola to speak to you. Since the beginning of politics in Nigeria, and to date, there has never been a more successful political combination like the two gladiators.
Recognizing SLA as a nationalist to the core, experienced, vast in the tenuous craft of give and take, and well prepared for the job of premiership, the Oyo State Commissioner for Information said Akintola might have had the opportunity to match Chief Awolowo's own achievement between 1952 and 1960, but for the internal crisis that bogged him down. He said in 1957, when Akintola was reappointed to the federal cabinet and was Minister of Communication and Aviation, he realized one of his dreams by breaking the monopoly of British Airlines with the establishment of the Nigerian Airways. It was that the federal government sent to Holland to source for new airplanes for the newly established Nigerian Airways.
It's on record that as the Minister of Air, SLA played a pivotal role in the establishment of the University Teaching Hospital, UCH. In his capacity as the minister, he was able to release the sum of 10 million to aid the completion of UCH. As a result of that lifeline, UCH relocated from Adeoyo Hospital to the permanent site in 1956.
Prince Oyelade, who described as a mystery that the establishment of the University of Ife in 1961 was never credited to Chief Samuel Akintola, who at the time was not only the premier of Western Region, visitor to the university, and one of those at the front line of establishing the university while he was a deputy premier, also decried the refusal to credit SLA with the establishment of the Daily Sketch newspaper, which was funded by the regional government on December 2, 1964, under his watch as premier. He said when Cocoa House was formally commissioned in 1965, SLA was still the premier of Western Nigeria, though the project was the brainchild of the Awolowo premiership. Recognizing late Chief Akintola as one of his heroes, the father of the day and Maye Olubad of Ibadan, Oyelade said it is important to continually give credit to historical achievers across Nigeria. Identifying the significance of history to education, her former Minister of Finance and daughter of the late Premier, Dr. Bimbo Akintola, described her late father as a nationalist par excellence. The event, which was hosted by the descendants of the late Chief Akintola, including Dr. Bimbo Akintola and Ambassador Abayomi Akintola, had in attendance a former Minister of Agriculture, Chief Bamidele Dada, the Vice Chancellor, Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Professor Razak Kalilu, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Ajayi Crowther University, Oyo, Professor Muyiwa Popoola, popular Ibadan broadcaster and chairman Agidigbo FM, Dr. Oriyomi Hamzat, among other dignitaries. Gbenga Deshui, reporting for Alore News.